Hello, YouTube. We have resumed Paranormasight game. We have already looked around everywhere, I believe.
Yes, we did. It's time to tell Richter Kai that we're depressed.
Now, I am voicing all the other characters, and Fisk is voicing the character that we are.
I can't wait to do the police officer one.
Yeah, currently you are Haruhi.
Haruhi Shigima,
Yes.
a housewife with a passion for fire.
Give me give me a second. You're a little loud in my ear.
I'm a little what?
You're eating
What
food,
did you call me?
and I can hear you.
I didn't eat any food. What do you mean? I'm drinking milk.
Okay, let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. And the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about?
Well, where to start?
Interesting. Very interesting. So, the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere. Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection, and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right?
That's right.
So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that cursed stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. You tried to light a guy on fire. It didn't work out though, now did it?
I don't think you quite understand.
Oh?
This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. I was already there in my head, as clear. What? It was already there in my head, as clear as day.
You just knew, huh?
It was etched onto my soul, along with the curse echo's resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did, hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. Specifically, someone possibly named Martini Man Shoko.
I see. That could be a problem.
You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity.
The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief. Talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment. Remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going.
That might be a good idea.
That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigema.
Oh yes, I remember. I'm the one who hired you. I never did find the one who did it.
That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of one lead.
Good job! So you said.
As
Good
far
boy,
as the
Richter.
pats him on the head. as far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway.
I remember. You were just about to tell me. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo Sumida around 1 year ago. Harue Shigima's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with the ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible. But her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give him an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case is long gone cold.
Shuichi Shigema, elementary school student, the only son of Haruo Shigema. He was kidnapped and murdered 1 year ago. His body was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi was a conscientious, brave young boy who was determined to protect his mother Haruo amid his father's frequent absences. He dreamed of becoming a police officer and displayed diligence and an impressive sense of responsibility from a young age, likely due to being raised in an extremely strict environment. Born in the early 70s, he spent his days immersed in various activities and studies, including playing piano, learning the abacus, taking English lessons, and training in kendo. Shuichi's tendency to put other people's needs over his own meant he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for them to all go out on a hunt for mockingbird stickers.
Aww. Poor little baby.
Okay, more about the investigation. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found, and then we can make a decision.
Alright.
About the kidnapping. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself.
No, I'm very familiar.
Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, Northern Oyoko River here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area.
That's right.
In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home.
Maybe, but...
Exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger.
That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood, too. Even saw him warning the other children.
It's possible they forced him into the car. The only
Not
issue
possible. He was an expert in kendo. We just discussed that.
He was also 11 years old, ma'am.
He was also... These nuts, you fuckhead.
Wow, alright. It stands up and leaves. Don't be mean to Richter.
Richter, you're being a bad boy. I'm going to have to spray you with some water.
The only issue there is, there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping.
There's not gonna be any witnesses to what I'm gonna do to you after this, you little fuck.
Why are you so mean to Richter? What did he do to you? You can't...
No comment.
No comment! So he did nothing. Gotcha. Alright. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So, did they target him at some other time, or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off?
The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided the kidnapper must have just gotten lucky.
Well, why not turn the problem on its head?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into their car. But how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody that he would have a reason to trust. A teacher, perhaps, or a relative, or somebody else that he knew.
But all of the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly.
They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigema family has close ties with the police, after all. He would have had a reason to trust them.
What the fuck was that noise?
That was Val.
What was he doing?
He just made a noise at me.
You might be right. But surely that couldn't have!
Well, there's a
Can we
problem
stop
with the
talking
theory.
about my dead son so I can put on some silly voices?
You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. Wonder what happened in this conversation that led to her... I was gonna say, what happened in this conversation where she was like, alright, now let's go out and kill people? But there's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Personally,
Like
I
you.
find offense to that. I mean, he's correct, though.
Yeah.
Besides,
I mean, a lot of times, danger can be is more likely to be inflicted by someone with a body type that has an advantage over you, and statistically, a male body will have an advantage over women, children, and other men.
yeah. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong.
That's right. He was also 11.
Hey,
Surely you can't mean.
you can't say, oh, he was a master at kendo, and
Shut
then...
the fuck up. I can say whatever the fuck I want to.
Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman who approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car?
He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children.
You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays. But if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here.
Richter would never do anything for a woman or a child.
He does things for himself and his bird.
Then you think the culprit was a young woman. But it was a man's voice on the phone. It's called two people, lady!
She might have been an accomplice. Or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had.
Do you mean he saw it happen?
Well, I can't say that for sure yet. Turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier.
It's me, I'm Richter now.
Yeah, you've been...
Alright. This should do! There's no one around! We can speak in confidence! Excuse me, what was your name again?
Jonochi.
Got it. Well, it would just be Jonochi. Because the U is just part of the... It's to put an extra emphasis on the O. So Jonochi.
Okay.
Jonochi. I'm all ears!
Just so we're on the same page, you're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping. Do I have that right?
Of course! What else do I look like?
A number of things. How should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life's in danger. I need your help.
Huh? You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who is trying to kill you?
A student called Michio Shiraishi.
Interesting.
Shiraichi? No, whatever.
A schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty.
It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima.
Come again?
I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him, I'm sure of it. Or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me.
If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody?
Well, you see...
If you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you.
I couldn't! She told me if she'd killed me if I spoke a word.
You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on all that... So you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans?
Yes, that's it exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon.
Well, you seem to believe what you're saying. But it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? That's what you don't understand, Richter.
You don't?
She was a master in kendo at age 11.
You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me.
Curse you? That's a face. I'm sorry, but you're losing me here.
It's true. Her house, it's... Oh, forget it. Why do I even bother? You seemed dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me.
Hey! Into the sky. Out of the light fixture.
And that's about the long and the short of it.
I can hardly believe it. Sorry, Richter. I had a little bit of a drink before you came back from your flashback.
At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk. But I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it.
Then if we can just find that girl.
I can curse her and kill her. What? No. Curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Jonochi. He's a teacher at Komogata High School here in Sumida.
A teacher, then the schoolgirl.
Is one of his students? I think that's very likely.
Sussy look.
At last, we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. About the rite of resurrection. The rite of resurrection, huh? As Val screams at me! Stop. No. 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 Shh. I read about that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rite can be found somewhere in Honjo.
I remember the first time you told me about that. Wait,
I thought
what
you
the
were
fuck?
weird.
I thought she was going cray cray and just was like, I want to resurrect Shuichi. No, it's Richter that was like, why don't we resurrect him and ask him who killed him? It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope, for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive.
You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the rite.
What? She just said you told...
Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but.
Richter, what do you really know about big butts?
No comment. If this rite is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Not just someone, several someones.
Is that a problem?
If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you.
That's a shame. I have to
A shame, huh?
spray you some water.
That's all? I'll make it a point to never care to hold anything that could start a fire because you told me what it does. I'm smart like that.
If I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful.
You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that?
I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this.
Yeah, that's so, is it? Dear, oh dear, what have I gotten myself into?
And if you want to eat tomorrow, you're going to help me. Otherwise, I'm not paying.
Damn.
Val's put in jail. Just where
Yeah.
I'm going to put you. You little fuck.
No need for all the aggression, lady.
I'm going to German suplex you.
What?
If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them.
Lady, that still makes me an accomplice. I won't be party to murder, ma'am. Not even for a client.
Not even for this client. Blinks at him rapidly. How much are you worth?
Can I buy you?
How much can I give you to change your mind?
Sorry, ma'am, but not everyone has a price. I've got my policies and I stick to them.
I'll buy you another bird. I see, I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Do you want to get buried?
What? Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I
What do you
can help
mean?
you out.
What do you have in mind?
Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul dregs? If that was all you were after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later.
Well then, I suppose we have a deal.
The prologue shall go, in the route where he did kill a bunch of people. You totally just murdered him. And Richter was there, so I can only imagine what he did after that.
That wasn't the plan!
Dude, what the fuck? You were supposed to take a curse stone, not kill him!
Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove?
That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now.
My. Such a prickler.
Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? A contingency in case you betray me! The Haunting Clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly.
That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here. I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that.
In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere.
That sounds sensible.
And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person, is that right?
That's right.
I mean, matches might work.
I mean, if we're going by... we could have had the idea of the clap... If they were clapping, that it said it's on fire. So if their butt cheeks clap together...
Stop!
Then...
Stop! No, I've heard enough. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. Seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that anybody just leaving the area is pretty... Well,
yeah.
actually, no, it was the whole... him turning around
Yeah, no. Shogos was really powerful. I think the foot washing one is one of the most powerful because, I mean, universal restrictions that made us deaf to voices. In the real world, it's like, no.
You really think that? You really think it's that good? Honestly, so far, her seems like one of the worst.
Well, the one with the total darkness, but you have to like willingly approach it. And then there's we don't know how the Tycho one works. We don't know about the Evergreen Beach, and we don't know about the one-sided reed. We also didn't know what Mio's was. That was the girl that she wanted to revive. The schoolgirl that we just like murdered immediately. Rip her.
Rest in peace, schoolgirl. You really think it's that good?
Oh, the target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. Val, shush! You're being a bad boy! And say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Ooh, okay, we're set back a little bit. Okay. We're back to where we were. And say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're there. They wouldn't even know what hit them.
Maybe. I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said.
Threats could work, although without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second.
At the last second. What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now.
That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig.
Oh, I see.
I also don't like having the idea of being lit on fire. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying, and I don't think it's just the curse.
You flatterer.
What? That wasn't a compliment. I'm scared for my life.
You silly goose.
As for what we
Sorry,
do next, what?
Our Oni Remaster will be released on July 22nd.
Nice. First of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside your normal routine. Right then, have you decided what you want me working on?
What do you... I feel like you should do the kidnapping, because we don't need his help.
Yeah, we don't need his help to kill people, and he'll stop us if we try. Let's get him to do something else away from watching eyes.
Finally. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son.
Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping.
Although something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you?
No.
At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers?
Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up, and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain.
Thank you. That's more than enough.
Now then. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find out anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout.
Alright.
There's no telling what kinds of curses you might find out on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it, and try to be ready for anything.
I will.
Well, if that's all, I should be going.
Am I supposed to read that?
Well, no. We'll just follow the whole path. 1 a.m. Shigemo Mansion reception room.
It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened. But he hasn't. So all I can do is wait and wait. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. The flowers put me at ease. Just a little. That old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I would. Not that I ever learned how to make it. There's nothing on at this hour. I see no point in turning it on. I'm waiting for Richter to con. It's a fax machine. I rarely find a use for it. I don't know anybody else who owns one. What's this? A newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. It's a newspaper. I'll leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. It's not like I have anything better to do. Looks like the city's biggest problem now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it made my eyes water. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. If there's one thing Honcho never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore, not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Suicide at local high school? Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure. What? But... No, this can't be right. Her name. Michio Shiraishi. I think it's Michio Shiraishi from Komagata High School. It can't be. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into an era of large corporations. It's about 220 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar's down from its height and people are seeing it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. Common tone car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. The city center is going to be nothing but apartments before long. I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. Yawning.
Oh no.
Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. Seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions.
Not the one that I have, though.
Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Was that what Richter was talking about? Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way. With their modern worldviews, my generation will only fall further behind. My husband used to complain that it was too dark, but I rather like the gloom. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Now the comedy boom is over, and all of the comedians are flocking to other genres. The cult seems to be really popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specials. Make sure the receiver is on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Ah! That must be him! Do nothing! Hello, Shigima residence.
2 a.m. We literally sat there in the room and read a newspaper for an hour.
Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you.
Funny, I was just thinking the same thing.
We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. One of the bridges spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake. It is notable both for its distinctive blue arches and the cutting edge, cutting edge for the time techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. The Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful.
Can I ask you something, man? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home?
I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it.
Right. Should have guessed.
This was where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been, how cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then. And I prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day, after day.
You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meireki, and just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways.
Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told.
They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, to stop it leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too.
So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife?
Exactly. That's why the rite of resurrection is here rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the Seven Mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot where we're standing now, right over the water. The border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Just thinking aloud, ma'am.
Well, it's a nice thought. A Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of the eastern Tokyo and empties into the Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to its logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many woodblock prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period. But the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive fireworks displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you?
Go ahead.
It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Subida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand.
What?
It was almost a miracle when you stopped to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotten away in the water, the part that was left would have been an identifiable scar, and that they could tell it'd been a murder from the blade marks on the bone.
Wait. Are you talking about the Najima murders?
So you have heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time?
I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours.
A notorious case from over 2 decades ago involving the murder of a female high school student. It first came to the attention of the authorities when part of a human left hand was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Testing revealed it belonged to a missing female high school student, as it appeared to have been severed deliberately. The police launched a murder investigation. A large-scale search of the river was organized, but the highly polluted state of the water made this impossible. Visibility was poor, and the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's head and what appeared to be part of her leg before the search was called off. Oh. At the time of the incident, the Sumida River wasn't as polluted as it had ever been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they may have fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologies at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, and so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until a hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During the questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Nejima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into his background was conducted, leading to his arrest. Nejima testified that he had snatched his victim from the street and confined her to the underground storeroom of his shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target on seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, her elbows, her knees, working his way inward slowly and methodically. His victim constantly wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Nejima dismembered the rest of her body and disposed of it behind his home in the Sumida River before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine, as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation when they were eventually reported. Once apprehended, Nejima readily divulged the details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motives. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, "I don't know what came over me. I know it was wrong." In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his methods strongly suggested that he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence ever came to light. Nejima was sentenced to life in prison at his first hearing. The sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendant.
Fumichika Nejima, self-employed, man who made headlines over 2 decades ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Nejima murders.
To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved.
It's Richter. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. A vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself.
That's right. Which is why the riverbed is the last place anyone would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. They made easy targets for bad people. Oh! A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, we chopped a body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river. It would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
They arrested him shortly after. Fumichika Nijima. The man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, it couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered in the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end. But the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, the river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting?
Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders.
But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me.
Huh. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day.
Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. I have nothing. Oh.
Let me think.
Sitting around is the last thing I want to be doing right now. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford to fritter it away. He's gazing down at the water. Maybe you go? Please, go ahead.
Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries, looking for curse bearers. And I think I've found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinshibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. About 40% sure he's a curse bearer.
He's not, brother.
Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw on South Warigasui Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him, too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I'd bet. He'd make a good target. Next up is a pair, a young man and woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soldier eggs in a group might be a decent idea if you could make it work. But with things being how they are, it's gotta be hard to find folks one can trust. They've got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Last is two detectives I've seen sniffing around.
The police are involved?
Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's got to be up.
How do you know where they're from?
Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know, like my classmate. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye.
You found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best.
I guess the rest of everyone else's timelines can only exist if Shogo does the route where he doesn't accidentally kill anybody. He doesn't get the curse. So somebody else has the river one. Because it's not him, because he's dead. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai. P.I. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai, investigator extraordinaire.
My, an investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself?
You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit.
Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right?
Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come.
There's something I need to tell you.
What's up?
Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi.
The one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping?
That's her. Well, she's dead.
She's what?
The student who committed suicide last week. That was her.
I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead, only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Jonoichi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave?
It seems like we're back where we started.
Not necessarily. That teacher knows something. I'm sure of it. At the very least, I'd put money on him having something to do with Miss Shiraishi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her.
I see.
And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping.
Question mark?
In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch.
A hunch?
Well, more of a theory. Care to take a
A
guess?
paranormal theory! You can try guessing. I can't say for certain, but Maybe Mr. I don't... Silenced her, maybe? With murder, I guess?
What if Mr. Jonoichi silenced Michio Shiraishi with murder?
What do you think?
I see. So you think Miss Shiraishi's death might not have been suicide? That would certainly give him a good reason to think she'd hold a grudge. But I'm not sure I buy it. That might be a little bit far-fetched.
I see. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. I'm not really cut out to play a detective.
Well, no point dwelling on speculation. The truth will out in time. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jonoichi. Or Jonochi.
Is something wrong?
Not really. It just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Najima murders.
So it has.
Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed on parole after 20 years. Only if they found to show remorse and desire to reform themselves, of course.
That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society.
I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation.
Oh, really?
They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from anyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities, so they won't be recognized in the workplace.
My. The way you put it. It's like you're saying, Fumichika Nejima could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name, with nobody any the wiser.
It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Najima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind.
I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too.
What was it?
I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago and I saw someone. A janitor, I think. And I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika and Nejima.
Oh?
He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remembered too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all.
Richter didn't like that information.
So, what next?
The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. It's cold in my room. I'm gonna get a blanket. There we go. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think.
I see. Alright.
Huh. Okay. That's as much progress as we can make. Sakazaki or Tsutsumi?
Let's just go in order.
I get to voice Jun Ario. Let's go. 11 p.m. So before the curse, which was like midnight to 1 a.m. Former Yasuda Gardens. Hey boss, forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. Park should be able to
see that, you dumb shit.
Hey, man. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow like nothing ever happened. The pouty face.
I doubt it'll get many visitors after everything that's happened.
You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you not know that, boss?
Sounds stupid.
Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is.
Somehow I doubt it'd be that simple.
If humans can lie, ghosts can lie. Dumbass backhands him. Oh, but you know, I've heard that high school girls are really into this spirit board thing these days. Supposedly you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something?
You can try it out yourself if you're so interested.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss.
What now?
Hello, Days. Look at these two clowns. Yeah, Tsutsumi and Ario are a goofy bunch, I'm certain.
I think the clowns are us. Stop messing around. You really think we're gonna solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper?
No, I wasn't talking about... Huh? Sounds like you know all about it. We gotta be open-minded. What if that's how police work is gonna be from now on?
Don't make me laugh.
Oh! Well, no, that is a freaking... Alright.
Yeah, but in Japan, they just make their own and then they use a coin. Because the Japanese yen have a hole in the center.
Right.
Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Using these, all one has to do is ask questions of the called upon spirit and it will move the coin and answer. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and molded by Japanese occult enthusiasts. Oh, it's based off of the Ouija board, but...
The Ouija board.
The Luigi board. Though it's considered a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possession. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking into schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures when using the boards.
Spooky.
Listen up, Ario. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult.
I'm sorry. Him just making that face. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever or whatever it was that did this. I'll get them. I promise you that.
Well, you've got the right attitude. But we don't even know if this is a murder yet.
Yeah, I don't know why he puffs his lips out like that. Such a weird facial expression to make.
They all do that.
They do. Richter has a silly one, and then there's Satsumi's pout. And then, Harue's lip bite. She looks very upset when she bites her lip. Did you read that one?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Biases weaken our judgment. Get too fixated on one thing, and I'll stop seeing everything else.
Aye aye, boss. So, now that we've finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know.
Like that face. That's what I was telling you. He has that face. Now, it's getting late. I figured we'd head straight home from here.
Come on, we've got to go over all the info we've gathered. I know it's 11 p.m. and you're an old man and you need your beauty sleep, but come on, we're police officers. You said it yourself. And what better place to do that than here at the scene of the crime, where we can soak up the atmosphere, absorb it like the
I am
sunlight.
gonna bash your head in.
No!
Soak up the atmosphere? The hell is there to soak up? You must be really into this occult stuff if you get off on being in a place like this.
Wait,
Punk.
you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way!
No, you idiot!
No way!
No, don't. No way! No. That episode is so funny. Don't turn around the. No way! No way! Don't turn this around on me! I'm not the weird one here. Cripes! Ugh! Fine! Let's get this over with, you punk.
Aye aye, boss.
I've got a bad feeling about this case. And my gut? Rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. This pond. Oh, wait.
This
Not
pond. They say it used to flow into the Sumida River, but the river became so polluted that they cut it off. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yokohama Ichome were originally built as part of a daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. And you're disturbing that quiet with your yapping! Anyway, this is where the victim was found. It's clean now. It almost feels like nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that knowing that is any consolation.
Jun Ario, a detective in Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. His rank is Sergeant. This is his first time leading a case, like he graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him.
Why, thank you, sir. He's like, shit, did I say that out loud? About me! No. So early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a police officer and the evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether there was foul play involved. I think that about sums it up. But, boss?
Yeah.
Is this case really important enough to assign someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but...
It's all up to the higher-ups. I'm sure they got their reasons.
Boss, you know something, don't you?
It'll all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much.
I killed him, Mario. Thinking about it, the only
What the fuck?
the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Whoa, hey, hold on! Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something. He looks like he's about to punch us in the face. Isn't that right?
Sorry, Ariel, I'm eating goldfish.
Yeah, your goldfish eating is very loud.
That was me closing the bag. Jordan. You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself.
Well, it is our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially one involving an officer. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau. 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer.
You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like?
Tall. Yeah, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of a cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation.
Sounds like we lost a good one.
Yes, we did. We truly did. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but...
It's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling.
He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. Only problem was that he took on so much. He had the most unfinished paperwork, too. I always felt we'd need an unusual guy like him to help us solve all our unusual cases. Well, let's read about him. Hajime Yoshimi, Community Safety Officer, Kursako Nun. A police officer in the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau and was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He held the rank of head patrol officer and entered the force at the same time as Jun Ario. Hajime was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the former Yasuda Gardens early in the morning yesterday. Once a rebellious gang member himself, Yoshimi turned his life around and used his own experiences to connect with troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was a passionate, loyal, and caring man at heart, looked up to as a big brother by his peers. Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases, but his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée whom he had been dating since high school.
Don't worry, you're plenty unusual yourself.
Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago. I wonder who that is.
No idea.
Azure Heron Private Eye has a pet white parrot named Ernestine and dresses in all white and wears a hat and a Western style belt and
He's making that
pants.
duck face.
He is.
There was one even weirder than you?
Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously.
That's a good story. Love that kind of thing. Makes me want to have a drink in his honor.
Please don't make fun of my dead friend.
Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field.
You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. If I get a curse, I'm gonna...
That's because it is.
Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one
If I get a
who
curse,
misses
you're
me.
gonna be the first one. You'll be the first one, Ariel!
If I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss. Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale.
Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes. Yeah,
So
if
if
you
you-
fucking suck at this, you're done, son.
Friendship with Jun Ario ended. Richter Kai is my new best friend.
No, my new best friend is alcohol.
I need to prepare myself to square up against the legendary Martini Man Shogo.
If I don't drink, I need to become something on his level. Otherwise, it'll just be done. It'll just be over.
I can already see it. Ario, no! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed?
I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours, you dumb brat.
Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait. I can't
You'll
wait to
be
die.
dead!
I can't wait to die and see your reaction to my death. Alright, Ario.
Gee, you can't wait for your own death. Get it together, kid. Sheesh! You really are something.
Thank you? That wasn't a compliment.
What about the victim's family?
The Oshimi family is from Kitasenju in Adachi City, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted.
And he lived there alone?
Looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that.
There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things are complicated.
That's a bias too. He never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Hajime was engaged. He'd been searching...
I already read the file on him.
When? Just now.
Shut
with
the
my...
fuck up, kid.
with my Google Glass. Remember when that was a thing? It was definitely a thing in the
Shaking my
80s,
head
I
at you.
promise. No, you're not. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they
Years.
were in school. Over 10 years. They'd just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman.
That's so. How terrible for her.
You don't sound very upset.
But she may know if there's been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her.
Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. Hey boss? I looked into the case that Hajime was running.
Oh, great. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died?
Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles. The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamizawa last week.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had had contact with her even before this incident.
So she'd been troubled for some time.
That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what.
Must have been trouble at home.
That's what he thought too. Seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead.
Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then.
He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation.
I see, and you're thinking that it may have had something to do with his death. Well, we'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered.
Right. Let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too.
What was the other case he was working?
This one is also related to a Komagata High student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good.
Juvenile delinquency. Fun.
She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault and battery, you name it. Hajime has been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then he met with the girl the day he died.
Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get it on without him.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Sorry. What? Oh, wait. No, fuck! Right. Just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust. She might act out without someone to help her get through this.
We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But... we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her, too.
Ah, yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive, after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her.
That's what we hired you for. Lay little boyish charm on them if you need convincing. What the fuck, Susumi?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss.
Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me, at least.
Oh, I thought I was...
You were? Shit, is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed. You young person.
It's probably just me, actually. I'm a weirdo, after all. You said it yourself.
Well, don't think you can get away with that with other people.
So anyways, boss.
Were you even listening?
We've quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow.
Notes on Hajime Yoshimi. Case notes regarding the death of Hajime Yoshimi, officer with the Sumida Police. Summary. Body found at former Yasuda Gardens. Estimated time of death 2 days prior at approximately 11 a.m. Cause of death acute heart failure. Cause unknown. Signs of a struggle found at the scene. Efforts to locate witnesses underway. Body discovered by groundskeeper. Currently investigating the fiance of the deceased and 2 female students from Komagata High School. That the deceased had contact with this persons of interest.
Which curse would that be? Because I assume he was killed by a curse. Because the river is drowning, the clappers are burning, washing feet, the sound effect makes me think he got his head crushed. And then the darkness one is getting gutted.
I don't know.
Wait, we're missing one? Huh?
Well,
I guess these are 9. Oh yeah, they're... Oh yeah! I'm just saying, like, there's this mystery one.
We'll find it eventually.
As for the cause of death, we won't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appeared to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could be involved. Dying in the middle of the park like that, it certainly seems suspicious.
No.
That's you.
Dying in the middle of the park like that, it certainly seems suspicious. We need to get to some gameplay or I'm gonna fall asleep.
Ah! We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints.
If we can find out who they belong to, we might be able to figure out this whole... we might be able to figure this whole thing out.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets.
So we can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't many people who'd think to try mugging a cop as big as him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty impressive. He was a whole head taller than Ario. I also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly.
Sounds like the perp would have to have been a pretty would have been pretty strong to take on Hajime.
Do you want to get like a caffeinated drink or something?
Maybe, but because my eyes actually shut between your dialogue and this dialogue.
Yeah, maybe want to get something. Stand up, stretch, get a caffeinated thing. Because it says only 1 hour, but the stream randomly stopped when the game crashed earlier, so it's technically been close to 2 now.
Let's finish this dialogue section.
Okay.
Okay, well, I thought they were gonna talk more. That's what I meant by dialogue section. You entertain your chat for a bit.
Okay.
Just, I'll be back. Because I'm actually falling asleep.
Yes. Whatever you end up making. I mean, I could just take a break and then, I could also might make something for myself. I probably should. I should stand at least since it's been 2 hours. Oh, huh. There we go. Hopefully the game doesn't crash again, but I will take a break here. May as well. I wonder if that's why it crashed before, because it doesn't appear the application pauses. I'm alt-tabbed, but the mouse is still getting tracked. So yeah, take this as an opportunity to take a bit of a break yourselves. Stand up, stretch, get something to eat and or drink if you need it. We're gonna probably get... I'll also probably get something with caffeine in it. And hopefully with this stretch and caffeinated drink for our dear friend, Fisk, we'll be more awake as we continue Paranormasight.
But I'm just so tired. And I can't really sit in a comfortable position in this chair.
Yeah. So you got yourself a sugary?
I mean, what else am I supposed to get?
True. I'm gonna make myself a matcha thing.
Don't take too long.
Yeah, I'm gonna do cold.
Huh? She's playing Overwatch. Can you shut the door?
Oh, I didn't deafen in Discord thinking about it. So you probably heard Fisk. Lol. Whoops. But I'm back. You back, Fisk?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me turn the game volume back on. Huh? There we go. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago, outside of the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday.
11 p.m., the day before yesterday. What was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place?
That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss?
Maybe someone called him here? It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here?
Oh, that does seem likely.
They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret.
And then they got into a fight?
No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something.
Then you think it was meditated? That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him?
Well, there is still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him.
Right. About myself? But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place.
Yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy. But...
Yes, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you've got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it. Start getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, is a dream come true.
Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it?
What is it?
If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect.
Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, when you run your mouth like that.
It's getting late. You must be sleepy. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon.
Yeah, I get it.
I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today.
Oh, really? Funny. I've been wowed by you too.
On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss?
The hell's wrong with you? Prying into my personal life all of a sudden?
It's just, I've never heard you talk about them or anything. About them or anything. Oh, are you single?
Are you asking? Shut it, that's none of your business.
Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. The department really pressures young officers to
What
get
if
married.
we got married?
What? I wonder why that
We
is.
said what?
You don't say anything like that, though.
How should I know? I caved to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago.
Huh. So then...
God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh. I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up a guy like you.
I would never give up a guy like you. I was never home much, too focused on work.
Sir, I don't like this narrative you're painting.
I'd come home late only to get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all.
How sad. Especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first?
It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Ariel.
You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it. Not unless they're involved with police work themselves or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss?
Can I be your daughter?
What?
You really
No.
think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense.
Who the fuck said that? Come on, I promise
Jen
I
said
don't.
that.
Oh. Come on, I promise I don't mean this the way it sounds, but how old is she?
Jeez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try not to look so intrigued. She's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college.
Wow, a college student. Men love an educated lady as I crush this can.
Why are you talking about my daughter that way, you little shit? Stop that! What kind of op are you, making baseless assumptions like that?
She's living on her own though, huh? You must worry about her.
Bro, you're ignoring me! Worry, I don't even know where she lives.
Oh, so she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you'd follow her around everywhere.
I would not, I don't think.
Come on now, we both know that's not true. Helicopter Dad, Sutsumi.
Listen here.
You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side.
What? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this.
I don't think we actually are. Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Najima murder.
You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding.
You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? We studied that case at the academy. I was only in elementary school. Elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested.
Oh, that was just... cracking the case, finding the guy, it was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy?
It did. We were all terrified.
Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may have never caught him at all.
But we also now already know that Haruhi, the investigation wouldn't have even started had she not found her friend's hand in the river.
Oh wait.
I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end.
That's right, we didn't have the evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but... we may have stuck Fumichika Nejima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years, huh? God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. About the occult! So all this occult stuff, have you heard about it, boss?
What are you talking about?
This rite of resurrection thing that everyone's talking about.
What does that have to do with anything? No, not you too! I've been hearing about that shit everywhere!
No, Ario, you were the chosen one! Oh, you have? That's surprising.
Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job.
But don't you think the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Honjo and Sumida City, so I thought that maybe...
Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that rite or of whatever, or that wreck of fates.
Sounds like you know all about it. Boss, are you secretly into the occult?
Stop that. Seriously, this isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but bringing the dead back to life, that's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles. Got it?
Well, boss, I think that about does it.
Right, let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh god, what is that?
Huh? Boss, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile.
Quit saying that, you little fuck! Damn it! It was that case all along!
Do not be fooled. The true lie, it is no rumor, believe me, see the truth. Boss, what is it? Is there something over there? Goodness.
such deep sorrow, resentful memories flowing into my mind.
Those who deceive with falsehoods and untruth be hung up forever in eternal darkness. Kill them. Kill them! Those who spread lies. Kill them all. Whoa! The detective just got the most powerful fucking thing given his profession. Oh my god. He got the Cursed Stone of Evergreen Beach!
You have acquired the Cursed Stone of the Evergreen Beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Press the use curse button when someone lies to you. Well, you would have to know they're lying to you, though. Resentful memory. He deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and his skill in crafting Netsuke class. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man that would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e bloom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state, as if sentenced to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime. But dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man even in death. He hung there for days, till his neck stretched horrifically, a visage of pain still etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars where the rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, but neither did the man's body hanging from it, as the mansion owner was not home. Another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment. But the rumors persisted nonetheless. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like a thick black tar.
Now. Kill. Can you hear it, Curse Bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Boss! Boss! Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile.
Sorry. But I'm definitely am. I'm fine. Ariel.
Yes?
I have some bad news.
I'm going to have to kill you.
You're dead to me.
Oh no, your senility's kicking in, isn't it? Bros.
No.
What is your obsession with that?
Why do you want me to be senile so badly?
Huh?
We've got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. We're not going home tonight.
Huh? What are you talking about? I need to sleep.
You don't get to. You're my little errand boy now. This is what you get for calling me senile like 6 times.
Midnight!
The thing is, I'm not sure. Shogo may make an appearance later because he didn't actually start moving around until 1 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get this straight, boss. The Rite of Resurrection really exists? And to use it, you have to kill people using the power of curses from the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. And the curse you have is from the story of the Evergreen Beach that's told in this area. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I even got this cool new phone keychain to go with it. Isn't it cute?
You're quick on the uptake.
You weren't your usual silly. You weren't your usual silly self when you were explaining, so I knew you were telling the truth.
I'm never silly.
The only thing I have trouble believing is that you're taking this occult stuff seriously now. I mean, talk about paranormal. Paranormasight, even. I thought you didn't believe in any of that.
It's not that I don't believe in it. My familiarity with it is why I've tried not to get too close.
Are you just being a sore loser? Not used to
Why did we
admitting you
have to-
were wrong?
Oh, shut up and listen to me. No point in trying to hide things anymore. We won't get anywhere if you don't understand this, so listen up. Please, just listen.
You don't have to keep saying it. I'm listening.
We don't have time to waste. We'll talk as we walk.
Hey! Hey,
You
wait
said
for
my
me,
old
boss! Sorry, I just want to double check one thing. Why are there trumpets playing? You're telling the truth, right?
Yes.
This isn't a side effect of your senile. Stop!
It's the truth. Not that, like, I can prove it, though. I mean, I did get this cool, fancy little thing in my hand, but...
It's me.
I need to think a thought.
Game? Game? Weird.
Revealing the existence of a secret department is... Paranormal Cop? Of a secret department is against the rules. Even to a fellow cop. But this is an emergency. I need his help. I'll tell him.
Tell him what?
We're paranormal cops now, Jun.
Please work, controller. For some reason... Okay, there we go.
He's not stupid, but he sure can be slow sometimes. Okay. Though I think that positivity of his may come in handy at some point. I'm sure you already know this, but this is all top secret. No sharing it with anyone.
Right, you can trust me not to. But no, I just can't believe it. I've heard rumors that you used to be a member of a secret division attached to the Security Bureau. I can't believe we actually have a department called Paranormal Affairs!
Yeah, I'm sure it comes as a shock. I couldn't believe it myself. Paranormal Cop happening only 5 hours into the game! I thought the higher-ups were messing with me. It really had me worried for a while there.
No, this is incredible! Holy shit!
I always wanted to be a paranormal cop!
This is almost as cool as Abyss and Crash Keys!
No! It's cooler!
Yeah! That's the whole reason I became a cop! I was always fascinated by secret agencies and stuff, hoping that I'd get invited into one eventually.
You serious?
Dead. But you're alive.
What?
You said you're serious, and I said dead. As in, like, dead serious. And then I had him say, but you're alive.
It cut out when you said dead, so I was like, huh?
Oh.
I was kind of hoping that you would either go past it or say the joke again, so I wouldn't have to say anything, but you didn't do either of those things.
Oh. But thinking about it, it totally makes sense. If curses and spirits really do exist, then of course we need a special department to protect citizens from them.
You seem a bit too eager to believe it, all this. And hang on, I thought you joined up because of me.
Come on, boss. Do you only have one favorite food? Wow.
I'm out of food, you weirdo.
You can like more than one thing.
Yeah, whatever.
And hey, you were the more solid choice. If the paranormal shit ended up not being real, I would only be half disappointed.
In any case, the official stance is that the supernatural doesn't exist, so Paranormal Affairs operates in secret. Still not sure why they stuck me in there.
Maybe you
Hold
have
on a moment, Ario.
Maybe
I
you
need
have...
to open a beer.
Sir, I don't think you're supposed to be drinking while on duty.
We're not on duty. We're on paranormal duty. There's a difference. Beers are allowed in that one. Just kidding. It's not a beer. It's a Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Oh my god.
Those 4 years, I worked nothing but cases involving the supernatural. Although officially called the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division Special Security Unit Paranormal Affairs Bureau, it is more commonly referred to simply as the Paranormal Affairs. Only a handful of people know of its existence, even within the police force. As the name suggests, it specializes in the investigation and resolution of cases involving paranormal phenomena. Since the existence of paranormal phenomena is not public knowledge, nor is it readily believed by the general population, the Bureau's activities are conducted in utmost secrecy. Currently, there are only 5 members, including the chief. The Bureau has a network of psychic contacts across the country who assist with their cases, including Mio Kurosuzu. The Bureau undertakes investigations into any suspicious stories that cross their desk, though the vast majority turn out to be hoaxes. Due to the sheer volume of cases, close-lipped, experienced detectives without paranormal abilities of their own, such as Tetsuo Sumi, are sometimes assigned to investigate. The current chief of Paranormal Affairs is a man named Kuiru Nakagoshi. He was born to a family of psychics who have been involved in keeping the world safe from paranormal phenomena for generations, and has served as Mio Kurosuzu's mentor since discovering her. Kuiru is an elusive figure. Very few have met him in person, and he is rarely seen in the office. It is said that this is because he has oft been the target of curses. However, some theorize that it is in fact because Kuiru is not actually a flesh and blood at all. His seat in his office is usually occupied by a Nue, a legendary creature found in Japanese folklore. This Nue resembles an ordinary white thrush and acts as Kuiru's messenger, leading to bizarre scenes of police officers earnestly reporting their findings to a bird. The term Nakagoshi case serves as code name used to refer to cases under investigation by Paranormal Affairs.
Wait. Oh. Oh, we now have more info on these guys. Jun Ario, fresh-faced police detective that Shogo Okie met at Midoricho Park. A young detective with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, first investigative division with the rank of sergeant. Jun encountered a Kuroseko while investigating the mysterious death of his colleague, Hajime Yoshimi, in the former Yasuda Gardens with Tetsuo Tsutsumi. When Tetsuo explained to him that the supernatural is real, he accepted this fact without a moment's hesitation and vowed to help his partner solve the case. Born to a relatively well-off household, Jun developed a healthy sense of self-esteem and optimistic outlook on life. Although watching action movies and detective series as a child instilled in him a desire to help those in need, it was the sight of Tetsuo Tsutsumi, who was in charge of investigating a case Jun was involved in as a student, that truly inspired him to become a police officer. While Jun still maintains a strong respect for Tetsuo, he also gets much enjoyment out of making casual cracks to get a rise out of the veteran officer. As an adult, Jun continues to hold on to the faint hope that the world is as he pictured it in his youth, a thrilling place in which superhuman heroes do battle against secret evil organizations. He attended the police academy with Richter Kai, who is now a private investigator. The two initially became friendly when Jun found Richter holed up alone in the reference room scouring over old crime data, and invited him to go bowling, a popular pastime during this era.
They were bowlers.
They were bowlers. Yeah. Okay, Tetsuo is a veteran veteran detective within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department 1st Investigative Division. He was possessed by the Evergreen Beach Kuroseko while investigating the former Yasuda Gardens. Previously a member of the secret Paranormal Affairs Bureau within Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division, he makes use of this experience to investigate the ongoing large-scale curse incident with his partner, Jun Ario. Rather than sitting behind a desk, Chief Inspector Tsutsumi always worked in the field as he moved his way up the police force. Behind his stern face lies a compassionate man ever prepared to help his fellow officers. That same attentiveness to his work and colleagues, however, cost Tetsuo his marriage several years ago. Tetsuo has a penchant for candy and desserts, which he tries but fails to conceal from other officers at the risk of appearing soft. He delights in buying local sweets wherever he is sent to investigate a case and would often volunteer to be dispatched to distant locations to acquire them while he was with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. He is also surprisingly knowledgeable about current trends, a trait he puts down to investigation-related research, but which is actually spurred by his wish to have something to discuss with his daughter. Aww!
Revealing these.
So, do you know? Have it?
Have what?
Spirit sense, of course! Are you what they call spiritually gifted?
Nope, I've never felt anything at all. Even if I did, I'd be lightweight at best. One beer and I'm down for the count.
Why do we compare spirit sense to drinking? He was never Martini Man. He was never up to bat for... He
can only be Beer Boy. Beer Boy Tsutsumi.
He could never square up to the raw power of Martini Man. What was it? Martini Man Shogo?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Is that how people in the field quantify someone's spirit sense? Like how much liquor they can handle?
Nope, that's just me. Wait a sec. Was Yoko his daughter?
That's not impossible in this type of game, but I'm not sure.
Literally, he's saying it's just me, and the other girl, she said, oh no, that's just something I do. And since they split, she probably just has her mom's last name. Just a theory.
Yeah.
Thought it'd help get the point across, huh?
Oh, huh.
Sorry, seems like I keep disappointing you.
No, it's not your fault, boss.
At the risk of disappointing you yet again, I'll tell you one more thing. Spirit sense is usually something you're born with. It's tough to develop it later on.
What? So there's no hope for me? No, say it isn't so!
Of course you were interested. Well, you never know. You may have some hidden potential. Is this gonna be Old Man Satsumi and Ghost Boy Extraordinaire Ario? I know there's a high schooler who's got so much spirit sense she works on the front lines. They say work, but she wasn't paid because it was supposedly part of her training.
Yikes. That seems like it'd be in violation of Article 69 of the Labor Standards Act.
Wow, you really know the law. No comment.
Even the occult field has workers' rights issues, huh? So, what do we do now? We've got this rite of resurrection and the curse echoes of the 7 mysteries of Honjo.
The curse is being spread out around the city is a bit of an emergency.
Is that bad? It's that bad?
I'll put it this way. It's like handing out guns all over town.
Jeez, that's real bad.
It is. So we need to find the source and put a stop to it before something terrible happens. Usually that'd be a job for paranormal affairs, but I talked to them on our way here. The main team is tied up till tomorrow night.
I didn't realize that
so
pose also
involved.
Look at how far back he's leaning.
He's a leany boy. Said it'd be fine since I have some experience.
Huh? What? Then that overtime you mentioned means...
Yep, you're gonna help me, partner!
Alright! Let's do this!
You seem a bit too eager to dive into all this. You really have no reservations working a case you know nothing about?
You said this was an emergency. I didn't think we had a choice. I'm just trying to be logical about this, boss. Also, this is the most exciting thing that could have ever happened in my entire career. And though I may die, that would be pretty cool. And he's like, you're lying, aren't you? And he dies. Ario's like, no!
If I do good on this, will you adopt me as your daughter, boss?
No.
You really are something. It might actually be nice having you around.
Why, thank you! So exactly what do we do?
These curses are connected to the 7 mysteries, and the people who have the others should all be here in town.
Right, if there's 7 of them, that means there are 6 more out there.
We have to stop them all before they kill anyone with their curses.
Or each other. That would be bad.
If we can, we should find and collect all the curse stones.
But, boss, from what you said earlier, killing a curse bearer gets closer to completing the rite of resurrection. Won't your life be in danger if they find out you're a curse bearer?
Pretty much.
Matching pouty faces. Wait, we can't let that happen! Should you even be out here right now?
Hiding would only be a waste of time. The mystery of the one-sided reed is associated with Ryogoku Bridge. I was hoping we'd be quick enough to run into the one-sided reed's curse bearer. No such luck, it seems. Well, if nothing else, maybe word will spread that the cops are on the lookout and people will behave.
That's putting a lot of trust in whoever these other people are.
But it's possible that the other curse bearers with the same idea will come here. Talk to anyone you see who seems suspicious.
Ugh, that means someone who may have the power of a curse. Understood. In that case, why don't I ask that guy that's been watching us this whole time?
What do you know? There is someone there. Good luck. Try not to die, Jun!
Hey, you there! Sorry to bother you, but I've got some questions. I'm with the police. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll be asking you a few things, Mr. Yutaro Namigaki. That's your name, correct? Oh, don't mind me, just... just in case, you know. Yes. I don't mind answering your questions. You're a detective. Did something happen? Oh, right. Lots of things have been happening around here. Like people dying.
Your glasses are not as cool as mine. If this were a normal case, I'd be fine letting him take the reins. What curses are involved here? I should take over. So what to make of this guy? So what is it you were doing here?
Ah, it must be the incident at the former Yasuda Gardens. The dead policeman. I can't imagine a detective would come all the way out here otherwise.
Huh.
Say, Mr. Detective, have you ever heard of the Evergreen Beach? I mean, we're safe to answer with whatever the fuck we want. I've already muted him.
Answer my question. How about you answer my question first? What were you doing here?
I was answering your question. I came here to look for the Evergreen Beach from the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Actually, I was wondering if either of you knew anything about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nope. Sorry.
Really? How strange. Detectives, you have the curse of the stone of the Evergreen Beach, don't you? You! How did you know?
Ariel, you idiot!
Well, that was much easier than expected. Oh, crap! Sorry! It was simple inference. I figured you would have taken the curse if you were just in the garden.
If you know that, then... you must be a curse bearer yourself.
I have no intentions of hiding anything. I planned to tell you from the start. Look! This is my curse stone. I believe it's called the Foot Washing Mansion.
Oh, the feet one! The foot one! That's right, but are you sure about this?
I'm not so rash that I'd kill someone as soon as I found out they were a curse bearer. Not without talking to them first. You're the same, aren't you, detective? You wouldn't put a curse on a normal person. Let's speak as equals, shall we? I like the fact that we can tell that he's lying.
I feel like our homie wouldn't kill anyone. Right?
Boss?
Sure. We'd rather resolve this amicably too. He really is curse bearer. He may only be talking with us to try to activate his curse. I'll have to be aware of anything he asks me to do. We could tackle him and pin him to the ground, but that might have something to do with his curse. Any slip of the tongue could get us killed. I have to try and discern what activates his curse.
Don't worry, buddy. We already know.
So what do I do? The man identifies himself as Yutaro Namigaki, a 21-year-old college student. He was watching us so calm. I need to be careful with this guy. But before we talk, there's something I should tell you. This is my curse stone, the Evergreen Beach, just like you thought.
What? What? Boss, why would you tell him?
As for how the curse works...
Boss, are you having another senior moment? If you tell him that...
It hangs to death anyone who would try to mislead me.
And then Namigaki just goes, oh shit, I fucked up immediately then, whoa.
So if you try to lie to me, the curse stone will let me know. I don't have to use it to tell, understand?
Whoa, really? That's super useful. Yeah, that's why I was like, holy shit. It's literally a lie detector, except it's 100% accurate.
Richter was like, I think your curse stone's pretty useful, ma'am. And she's like, oh, you think so? And then fucking Jun and Susumi are like, oh yeah, just, if you lie, we know. If you lie to us, we can kill you.
Yeah, it's like we can always tell when you're lying, and then we can actively choose to just kill you immediately for doing so. I see. Understood. That's a pretty useful power for a detective.
Now then, let's talk.
Damn, it seems I've lost the upper hand. Holy shit! This dude is so... He is trying. What are you trying to do, dude? Are you goading us into killing you?
Hey, you won't kill me, right? You're...
What are you gonna do? Curse me to death?
This guy's a fucking idiot, bro.
Holy shit! We literally just told you it lets us know when you're lying, dumbass. No point for petty tricks then. I'll be honest with you.
So far, so good.
I see. He's warning him now that there's no point in lying. I had no idea a simple lie would set off the curse stone, though.
Jun, you're such an idiot.
Dude! Oh my fucking god, my guy! There's someone I want to bring back, so I'd like your assistance in collecting soul dregs.
Can't help you.
Please, all you'd have to do is tell me who the other curse bearers are.
Sorry, but as a police officer, I can't just look the other way and let you go.
Please, if you help me, I'll let you two go as well.
I think it's supposed to be, it's like how, as soon as you lied to him, he could do it whenever. So he's not continuously lying. It's just that because he did that one lie, we can use the curse stone on him. Or something.
I mean,
maybe.
maybe.
Some of the things he said could not possibly be lies, because they're just statement words.
True. The thing about letting us go is definitely a fucking lie, though.
Yeah. Is that a threat?
No! Oh my god! This is the comedy hour for sure! Oh
This
my
guy is asking for it!
Holy shit! It's your final warning!
Well, we've already... Unless it doesn't work. Ah!
My curse, the foot-washing mansion. Did you really think you could escape it just by being careful? It didn't matter to me which one of you was the curse bearer. I'll be taking your soul, both your soul dregs anyway. Wait, Namigaki! The foot-washing mansion is a powerful curse, and so simple to activate. It's ready whenever I need it. There's no escape from the voice of my feet!
Dario, get out of here! Hurry, I'll find you later.
What? Okay. Too late. Hear the voice of my curse echo.
The voice of his curse echo?
What? Why isn't my curse echo working? Sorry, dude. I already had the contingency plan in place.
Yeah.
Impossible! This has never happened!
What's happening? I don't hear anything. Dario, no. Now! Grab him!
Right! Namigaki, get down! Ah! Damn it! Boss, here, his curse stone.
Good work. Give it to me. Now here's your curse stone, Ario. You're gonna become a great curse stone trainer.
Damn it, why? What do you think, boss? Should we lock him up? I haven't even touched you. You can't consider that assault of a police officer.
Let him go. All we need is the stone.
How could this happen? My right of resurrection.
Give it up. The right was too good to be true from the start. I don't know what happened to you, but you'd be better off mourning whoever you lost the right way. Now get out of here.
Damn it. Oh, that was a close one, huh, boss? We'd probably be dead if he had activated his curse. Actually, he did. I just, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, but something stopped his curse from...
Boss, are you okay? Does having another curse stone hurt?
Yeah, the curse from... This one is flowing into me too?
Oh no!
I saw it activates the curse on the foot-washing mansion, and the resentful memories bound.
So if you collect them all, like, fucking...
Pokemon!
Like, the 7 Dragon Balls, you'll become a serial killer? I don't know. That sounds horrible.
I see. I always thought this one was one of the stranger of the 7 mysteries. Now I know why. This sure is something.
What did you see?
Let's save that for later. All you need to know for now is that it's a particularly powerful curse. We're lucky we took it from him quickly.
Phew.
Wash! Wait, what? Go back up? Crushing one who hears the command wash. Huh? She was an accomplished onmyoji. Alas, she did not use her talents for the good of the world or the people, but for her own selfish pursuit of beauty. After a fierce battle, the woman dragged herself through the streets. It was like something had gnawed away at her body. Will I die? I've already obtained what I needed. As long as I have this. Suddenly a terrible realization dawned on her. Her legs wouldn't move. She fell to the ground. What was happening? Surprised, she looked down. Her foot, once so beautiful and delicate, had grown ulcerated and rotten. He got her. He was on the verge of death. She was on the verge of death and covered in filth and poop. Crawling to a nearby house, her breath caught in her throat. The curious residents opened up but recoiled from what they saw. My foot is so filthy. Someone, please, quickly. The woman expired while mumbling something unintelligible. And so ended the life of a woman consumed by evil.
Yeah, so it's just they only have to hear the echo of the curse mark. So there's like his is probably the most powerful in terms of being able to activate it because you can literally just do it at will unless you bend the rules of the universe or are already deaf. Like we have now done twice. Well, that makes one stone. Where do we go now?
We'll visit all the places associated with the mysteries while it's still dark out.
You mean we have to do that all over again?
I hope they aren't all as aggressive as him, but people will do crazy things to bring back someone they love. Seems that the hatred the cursed stones are imbued with makes people more willing to kill.
Really? Then what about you, boss?
I'm fine. I may not have any spirit sense, but I'm tough when it comes to this stuff. Just give me a good old punch in the face if I seem like I'm gonna kill someone. That's why they loved me in paranormal affairs.
So you are spiritually gifted after all. Alright, let's head to the next place.
John, you almost died.
I still love the fact we were like, yeah, we can tell when you're lying, bro, and we can kill you whenever you lie. And dude literally was like, let's see how far I can push this shit. Are you gonna kill me? No? Are you gonna kill me now? No? You gonna kill me now? No? Too late, I'm gonna kill you.
Fails to kill.
Fuck!
Hunt for the Curse Bearers Part 2. This looks like the park we saw. Yeah, it's Midoricho.
We might run into Shogo.
It's actually more like Midoricho because Midori's green.
Yeah. I will say, this must be... Oh, this guy must be the one who has the taiko. And that's why they were talking about it. I thought he was the one who got it, who got the taiko at the start, but he had Evergreen Beach. Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but we have some questions for you. What? Are you with the police? I haven't done anything. Don't worry, this isn't an interrogation or anything. We just want to talk. You're Hideki Araishi, right? The historian? We know who you are, so this won't take long.
Since we saw you here, we'd just like to ask you a couple questions.
Hideki is a... Actually, let me clear my throat. Hideki is a historian who works part-time as a curator at the local folk museum and as a teacher at Komagata High School. His recent publication on the Rite of Resurrection has caused a stir in occult circles. Hideki is the quintessential obsessive researcher. Despite being entirely unsuited for teaching, he had no choice but to take up a position at Komagata High School in order to make ends meet. While having a captive audience in his classes goes some way to satisfying his need for respect and recognition, his conceited nature makes him unpopular among the students. Lately, he is concerned that articles he contributed for purely monetary reasons have earned him a reputation and as a researcher of the occult, but the surge of interest in the topic and the resulting volume of article requests he is receiving are undeniably tempting. Hideki is a regular at the Kurokikyo Cafe on Hokusai Street, where he can be found outside his work hours writing essays and manuscripts. His published books include A Study of the Unknown and An Introduction to Bando History. We also have some more info on Yutaro Namigaki. We now have Foot Washing Mansion abandoned. Yeah. Young man encountered at Ryogoku Bridge. He didn't hide the fact that he was a curse bearer. His curse stone was later recovered by Tetsuo Sutsumi. Yutaro is an elite student at a prestigious university. He lives off of the generous allowance he receives from his parents, who are both prominent local figures. Although Yutaro has lived a charmed material life, emotional neglect at home has caused him to develop a spoiled, egotistical streak. The only kindness he knew growing up was from his family's maid, and he still fondly thinks of the plain rice with butter they used to enjoy together. Well, let's get it over with. I'm a busy man. Let me look around. Let me look at my buddy.
Questioning people like this can put unnecessary stress on them, depending on their position. This guy's pretty sharp. I'll have to play it safe and only push him when I see an opening.
Think.
Hideki Araishi. He says he's a local historian. But supposedly he knows more about the rite of resurrection than anybody. The fact he's here at this time of night, it's plenty possible that he's a curse bearer.
Boss, let's ask Hideki some questions.
From appearances, it's hard to imagine this small, bookish, well-spoken man being very dangerous. But in this day and age, you never know. I should be careful. What were you doing?
Now, Mr. Araishi, what were you doing here at this time of night? Doing research, of course. Day or night, information never sleeps.
That's an admirable philosophy. You know, your research has been quite the talk around town. Wasn't it the Record of Fates? You did. Alright, you found some kind of ritual in the Record of Fates.
What? Don't tell me you want to know how to carry out the rite of resurrection, too. To be perfectly honest, I'm tired of people asking me about it all the time. None of you even care about the local history. You just come crawling out of the woodwork when something interesting comes up.
Looks like I hit a nerve.
If you think you can force me to tell you because you're a policeman, you're sorely mistaken.
I guess maybe more on the research?
Are you doing all this research so you can use the rite of resurrection yourself? You're a policeman. Do you really think people can be brought back to life? Everyone I meet. Pitiful. Huh? So you don't believe in the rite? Whether it's real or not has nothing to do with my research. Such things are better left to the occult freaks. Or so I thought. Things changed. It has become necessary for me to pursue the rite. So now, I pray that it is real.
What changed?
I'm sure you can imagine. The funds for my research. I receive a large amount of funding for seeking the rite of resurrection. And if I find it, I'll receive a sum so great that I'll never have to worry about money again.
Oh, then that means someone is sponsoring your research. Is that right?
So what if they are? You have no idea how hard we work to secure funding for our research. I have no interest in teaching those children. Listen to me, I'll tell you one thing. Those experts you see writing provocative books or spouting nonsense on TV to try and get popular, all of them are just trying to get the money they need to do their research. With how popular the occult is, saying something even remotely spooky can lead to big money. What? But I bought your book! The pursuit of the unknown begins first and foremost with belief. I was so inspired by that bit. I do appreciate your patronage. Unfortunately, however, the occult is not my true interest. The fate of the unknown is to be destroyed by thorough research and deep consideration. No way. I can't believe it.
You were surprisingly innocent.
then, what kind of research do you want to be doing? I'm sure it wouldn't interest you, but to put it simply, the focus of my research is how historical accounts transform into folklore over the years as they are passed down from generation to generation.
What does that mean?
Due to human bias, the account of any event is inevitably changed by the person communicating it. This is not necessarily done with ill intentions. It happens when someone tries to fill in the gaps in a story that lacks detail, or when something's left out or abridged because of the story's length, or when a story twists and shifts as it's spread through oral tradition. Even when two stories are told about the same event, differences in culture or environment affect how it's told, changing its content. Silly little things can turn into terribly mysterious legends. My research is the study of how history, culture, and legend all influence each other.
I see.
Take the 7 Mysteries of Honjo, for example. Why are some of the mysteries seemingly about nothing particularly interesting? You'd think stories wouldn't last a decade, yet alone hundreds of years. So why? Perhaps putting it that way piques your interest? I admit, I am curious.
So that's what you've been researching all this time? Makes sense.
As I said, it doesn't matter to me whether the right exists or not. If people in the Edo period believed that was what was written in the Record of Fates was real, that's all I'm interested in. But I have to be realistic. The research I'd like to do is unfortunately not very lucrative. That's why I need to take some risks.
This Record of Fates, where did you get your hands on?
The storehouse of an old private residence in the city, just as the public was told. I'm unable to be more precise due to an agreement with my informant. Was the research Was the research you were doing just now also related to the rite of resurrection? Well, yes, that's right. What exactly were you looking for? Sir, can you not burp? We're in the middle of a casual chat. It's rude to do so.
I'm sorry. My Baja Blast is hitting.
You're right. You really would be
You
down for the count with one beer. You are no martini man. No, I have...
About the jokes is martinis aren't even, like, that strong. From what I've... Not that I'm much of a drinker.
I mean, I think it depends.
Yeah, but they're like, it's a mixed drink. It's not just like straight alcohol that you could disinfect your wounds with. You couldn't disinfect your wounds with a martini. Can with like scotch or whiskey. What are you laughing about?
Just thinking of various stupid titles to give some of the natural spiritually inclined individuals in this game. Because we have Martini Man.
Shogo is in our hearts forever. Anyway, continuing on.
I have no reason to tell you that. You wouldn't understand anyway. Nope. I'm gonna keep pressing.
I think I might have a guess as to what you were looking for. Soul Dregs? Curse Stones? Curse Bearer? Maybe Curse Stones?
What? Damn it. If you know about that, then.
Calm down. No need to get so defensive. Well, we don't really have any reason not to hide it. We're the trusty police officers. We both want information, right? Why don't we have a nice, friendly chat?
A curse stone? You are a curse bearer? A leaf. Is it the Evergreen Beach, then?
Yeah. Will you show me yours?
This is mine. The ever-burning lantern. Oh, shit! We don't have anything against that right now.
How the fuck is he gonna put us in... How is he gonna put us in complete darkness when we've got our homie right next to him? Interesting. I think maybe we should put on the pressure, right?
Reveal curse details?
If he lies to us...
I mean, this does put a bit of pressure on him, because he could either try to say, oh, he might be bluffing, or he's like, shit, I can't lie anymore. But we could also put him in a false sense of security and hide it, so that way he feels more comfortable with the idea of lying, and then we go, ha! And then kill him, but I don't know.
Maybe I think we should reveal first. I mean, I think if our dude dies, we can redo it. I'll tell you this for free. The Evergreen Beach comes from a man who was hanged for spreading false rumor. If the accusations against him were unfounded, and he died cursing those who deceived him.
Ah, so that is the resentful memory held within the Evergreen Beach. The memories of the 7 mysteries are truly fascinating. If only I could collect them all.
Do whatever you want, but you should know something. This stone of mine lets me curse anyone who tries to mislead me.
What? But...
So don't try to lie to me. I'll know.
You would curse a citizen? And you call yourself an officer of the law?
That all depends on you. I don't want to use it if I don't have to.
What is it you want?
The curse stones are dangerous. I'd like to confiscate yours.
Excuse me? But my right.
First, let me ask you one thing. You haven't used the curse? You haven't used that curse, have you?
Oh shit, he's already killed somebody. No, of course I haven't, I swear.
I see. Good. Now why don't you hand over that stone? Unless you'd rather try using it on me instead.
Damn you! I won't give it to you! If I were to say that, what would happen? Would it be a crime?
The police are aware of how dangerous the stones are. It could arrest you under Article 1, Section 2 of the Minor Offenses Act. Or you hand it over and all you lose is your secret ability. Think of what would happen to all your research if you were arrested.
Fine. You can have the stone. Here. Oh shit, that was easy.
Yeah, I told you, this was the guy that killed us. We died to him. We knew what his was.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we don't have anything to go up against him if he tries to use it on us.
Well, we had another fucking person and we could 2-on-1 him. Because the whole thing is we got dragged into that building. Or
Yeah.
Shogo. Martini Man Shogo did. When
Mhm.
Honjo was filled with samurai residences, the spies of the shogunate lived amongst the townspeople to keep an eye on things. A soba cart on South Warigesui served as one of their outposts. They would communicate to each other in code by turning the lantern on or off. Tonight at 4 a.m. meant that someone would be having the last soba of their life, and that their belly would be sliced open the next night. An unfortunate incident occurred in which a man attacked a woman in a bout of fury. He regretted it deeply, even declining to invoke the right to defend his honor. But the deed was done. Still, he could not accept it. His rage at having been used by his daimyo boiled over, turning into a grudge he would never forget. Nearby, he saw a lantern quietly glowing in the night, and when the sixth bell rang, the man cut his own stomach open. Since then, the lantern could be seen alight before the soba cart had opened, and would flicker out suddenly even when there was no wind blowing. As this unsettling phenomenon continued, the rumors surrounding it grew, and soon all were convinced that it was the man who cut open his stomach, visiting them from beyond. Good choice. I look forward to seeing how your research pans out.
Hmm.
Oh, right. Would you tell us everything you know about what's been going on? If you help us out, we'll give you all the information we've gotten after we solve the case. What do you say?
In that case, would you tell me about the resentful memories of the Seven Mysteries? I believe they are the key to the secret hidden in the Record of Fates.
Sure, why not? I'll learn about them as I collect the curse stones. I mean, he was pretty reasonable.
But thanks to you, we learned a lot from him, right? Because this should... Oh, it didn't update. I thought it would.
I wonder, the mysteries in the right are all public information. He kept everything he knows about the other curse bearers and the source of the curse here hidden. I was hoping he'd at least give us a clue about how to beat these curses.
Oh, I see. Then we should be more aggressive next time. Really make them spit it out. And by we, I mean you.
I'm guessing he wants to save this curse. He wouldn't have told us anything, no matter what we asked. But now we know where he hangs out. We can always send someone for him if need be.
Right, got it. I was surprised to hear that there are actually 9 of the 7 mysteries, though.
Yeah, that's 2 extra curse bearers we have to find. We've confiscated 2, so there are 6 more. They could be anywhere in this town.
We have to find them fast, or they may start using the curses.
No, I think we're already too late.
Huh?
I didn't tell you this, but there were some soul dregs in Namigaki's curse stone.
Really? Then he already killed someone with it?
It's not much, so it probably wasn't a curse bearer. Shit. Well, we know who did it. We can make arrangements to take him into custody. We'll have Paranormal Affairs pick him up tomorrow. For now, we continue our search.
Also, we know... Well, no, he doesn't... He didn't say there were soul dregs in Araishi's, but he did lie when he said he hadn't used it yet. So he must have encountered somebody who... He must have encountered somebody and tried to use it on them, but because if you have a light source you can get out of it, that person escaped. Whether that person was Shogo or not, we don't know yet.
It was probably Shogo, because we have to get the one from Shogo.
Yeah. Right. On to the next place.
Unless
somebody else has it.
Yoko that has it now.
Yeah.
Yoko or the dude that works for the lady.
We just have to cross them off the list one by one. Oh, but boss? Good to know we can use the Minor Offenses Act to arrest people with curse stones. Why didn't we do that with Namigaki?
If we could do that, there'd be no need for Paranormal Affairs. What grounds would a normal detective have to put him under arrest?
Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Oh, we don't have enough information. I don't know what we're missing in order to get out of a nice thought.
Must be in Yako's.
Yeah.
Wait, Mio is the paranormal cop. Well, the psychic that works with the paranormal cops.
Yeah. Komagata High School, midnight. That should be everything. Okay, let's start. Ready for this, Yako?
I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Female high school student. A student in Class 2C at Koma High. Unable to comprehend why her childhood friend and classmate Michio Shiraishi committed suicide, she attempted to investigate the incident herself. However, she was unable to make any progress, and feeling desperate, invited transfer student Mio Kurusuzu to join her in performing a spirit board ritual. Born and raised in Honjo, Sumida City, Yako's family has owned and operated the beloved candy shop Sonoya since its establishment in the early Showa era. Despite her modest appearance, Yako is a cheerful and vivacious young woman with a sense of duty and compassion so strong that she is easily moved to tears. She is also a bit quick-tempered and quarrelsome, always prepared to stand up against those who harm her family or friends. It is possible, however, that this readiness to fight is more driven by an innate love of chaos. Yako... okay, because it put two Ks, which usually is like Yako. Yako. Or something like that.
No,
a lot of...
It's Yako. It's just stressing the K, because the syllables are still Y A and then K O. It's only two syllables. It's like how the U after O is just stressing the O. It's like how ticket in Japanese is, or it's like kipu is just stressing the K. So Yako.
Yako's winning streak against arrogant boys and scraps since she was a child remains unbroken, and is the source of considerable stress for her mother. Alright, let's start. This is the spirit board. This is how we'll be communicating. First, we'll put both a finger on the 10 yen coin that's on the board.
Like this?
Just like that. Relax your finger as much as you can. Now for the chant. Repeat what I say, okay? O Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us. Your turn. Spirit
of the Spectre Board! Just dies instantly from picking that. Spectre of the Spirit Horde.
Please visit us, right?
I don't look at this. I thought it was please come. Oh yeah, it's please visit us.
Spectre of the Spirit
Board. Spectre of the Spirit Board. Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us.
Good. Please tell us if you are there.
Whoa, it really moved.
Looks like we succeeded in the summoning. We can ask questions now.
Right, questions.
Start with a question you know the answer to and see the response. Then, when you know your questions are being answered truthfully, You ask what you really want to know.
Okay, I'll start with something simple. What's my name? I think I should know the answer to this. Spectre of the Spirit Board, what is my name? Huh, what's the matter?
How strange.
Huh? It told me no?
I bet it means it doesn't know. It may be the Spectre of the Spirit Board, but it doesn't know everything.
Is this spirit really the real deal?
It's fine.
I feel like it's giving me attitude. I mean, it's not our friend if it doesn't know our name, so... Where are we? Highschool. High school, that's right.
The answers don't seem to be very precise.
What is this girl's name? Fine, what is the name of the girl across from me? Mio, that's right. That's not fair. It knows your name, Mio.
It even used that weird character you used to spell your name. How flattering. Mio Kurosuzu transferred to Class 2C at Koma High about 2 months ago. Although she is an extremely mild-mannered young woman, she exudes a somewhat off-putting dark aura, which makes it difficult for her to form friendships. Mio has, however, found a friend in her classmate, Yako Sakazaki, and has begun opening up to her little by little. The truth of the matter is that Mio is the apprentice of a famous psychic, possessing exceptional spirit sense. She takes on the troublesome task of surreptitiously handling spiritual disturbances that break out in schools across Tokyo before they become a problem. She transfers schools frequently as a result, and thus has trouble making human friends. Mio has already solved an incident at Koma High School involving a female student possessed by a spirit. Although she takes effort to hide her spirit sense, many develop an impression that Mio has a deep knowledge of the occult and the paranormal upon first meeting her, leading to her to be anxious that her secrets have been exposed. The most common comment she receives is that she seems to get along well with crows and black cats.
I bet even the teachers get it wrong all the time. I guess these paranormal beings just tend to take a liking to you.
I don't know how I should feel about that.
Guess my name again? I'll ask it again. What is my name? Well, fuck you too.
Didn't even hesitate this time. Wow.
Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, are you truly the Spectre of the Spirit Board? Huh? Said no? Is it lying?
Not quite. The Spectre of the Spirit Board is just a temporary name we call them when using the board. We're actually calling a spirit with a strong tie to this place, or one of the people participating. In other words, a spirit that just happened to be nearby just felt like answering. They don't really think of themselves as the Spectre of the Spirit Board.
Oh, really? Huh. Feels like some of the mystique has disappeared.
The coin flies off the desk, like, well, if you're gonna be like that.
Do you mind if I still call you the Spectre of the Spirit Board? Yes, okay. Thanks.
Always good to remember to say please and thank you.
Alright, it's time to try asking serious questions.
Yeah.
Michio, we can't do the Mio have a crush on. Okay, here I go. I'll be serious now.
Yes, please.
Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Did Michio Shiraishi in our class, who died by committing suicide by jumping 1 week ago, really commit suicide?
So it really wasn't.
I'm not surprised. I never believed it from the start. Now it's the important part.
Yeah. Michio Shiraishi, a second year at Komo High, she was found deceased 1 week ago in a back alley off South Warigasui Street, her entire body broken and severely contorted. Police determined that Michio committed suicide by jumping from a nearby apartment building. As there was no suicide note, the police based their conclusion on interviews with Michio's peers. Michio was an honor student with a good head on her shoulders and consistently excellent grades, making her a favorite among the teachers. Although she appeared somewhat reserved, she had a positive outlook on life and a courageous spirit. Michio and Yako formed a long-lasting friendship during childhood, with Yako's unbending, uncompromising attitude deeply influencing Michio. However, beneath her strong exterior, Michio had been pushing herself too hard and keeping her emotions bottled up to the point that they risked overflowing. Following her father's death 3 years ago and moving to a new house, Michio began avoiding Yako. Although the two remained in the same area of town and attended the same high school, they gradually grew further apart. Yako herself worried for her childhood friend, but incapable of wading into complexities of Michio's home life, kept her distance. The days passed, and though Michio longed to confess everything to Yako, the moment to do so never came. Michio carried an old talisman, a memento of her father, with her at all times.
Michio's cause of death. The Spectre of the Spirit Board. Did Michio Shiraishi die in an accident? It said yes. So it was an accident, not a suicide.
Michio.
Then did she slip and fall from the apartment building? Huh?
She didn't.
What do you mean? Michio didn't die from falling from the apartment building? No way! If that were true, then why was she lying on the ground like that in the back alley of the apartment building?
It was an accident, but not a fall.
The Spectre of the Spirit Board, what happened to Michio on that day?
It seems like it doesn't know the details.
Where is the then how about Spectre of the Spirit Board? We want to use that rite of resurrection to bring Michio back to life. Do you know where the rite of resurrection is?
I wonder.
Huh? Ah! What is this? Stop! I'm scared, Mio!
Calm down. You can't let go before it's over. Stop. We can hear it. The possession, please stop. It hurts.
Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory is flowing into my mind!
The foolish procession, those who hear it shall fall into the depths of hell. Kill them. Kill them! Those who hear this sound. Kill them all!
You have acquired the power of the curse stone, the Fool's Procession. You can use it to kill those who hear the sound produced by the curse echo for more than 30 seconds. The effect will be negated if you are seen in that time. Press the use curse button to produce the sound.
Oh!
Wow!
So it's like a weaker version of the foot washing one.
Yeah. Wow. Poor girl.
Oh, kills by fatal fall. One who hears its music for 30 seconds without seeing the curse bearer. So, was Mio killed by the curse? Because she didn't fall off the building. It just made it look like she fell.
I guess. Omio stood atop the tall festival tower. It was her time to shine. She was ecstatic. It had been years since she joined the troupe, but she had yet to enjoy her day in the spotlight. She wasn't particularly pretty, nor was she all that talented. As a gossip and a loudmouth, she wasn't well liked by her peers. Some of the other girls thought of her as a teacher's pet and bullied her. I don't care about them, she thought. I'll use this chance to make something of myself. Everything was perfect. She wore a beautiful kimono and an okame mask over her face. The stage was set. The accompaniment began. She danced with everything she had. As applause rained down upon her from the crowd, her breathing hastened with excitement. I've got to catch my breath. That's strange. I can't take my mask off. The smell of glue assaulted her nostrils, so that's how it is. I knew it was too good to be true. Her screams were drowned out by the music as she squirmed and struggled. Oh, Mio is giving it her all today. We have to keep up. The crowd livened even more. No, please, someone help me. She fell from the tower, writhing in pain, as she begged those around her for help. The music stopped in time with Omio's heart. Arrgh! A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar.
Now. Kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them.
Two things to remember.
One week ago. Hey, did you hear? Someone from our school committed suicide. What? Really? Who? I heard that. Michio from Class C, right? No way! Michio? She'd been acting pretty strangely lately, but I still can't believe it. Did you know? I heard Michio's mom remarried last year. They say her new stepdad is a total jerk. Really? How so? Like, he'd peek on her while she changes and couldn't keep his hands off her. That's not jerk. That's worse. I've heard he's an ex-con. If she resists, I don't read that in time. That's so scary. No way, I couldn't take that. I'd probably think about killing myself too if I had to deal with someone like that all the time. Did you hear
Supposed to say unaliving.
Unaliving, sorry. Did you hear about Michio in Class C? Yeah, she seemed like the stereotypical honor student in her first year, but she stopped showing up to class and her grades started dropping after her third semester. So she offed herself because her grades were bad? No fair. Just thinking about practice tests makes me want to die too. All anyone cares about is test scores and grades. You hear about suicides on the news, but for it to happen here, it's a little scary. By the way, isn't there a girl who transferred into Class C recently? Oh, I heard about her. She's gloomy, doesn't stand out too much. Did you know that the school she was at before she transferred also had a suicide? What? For real? That seems, like, kind of fishy. You! There might be some of you who already know, but a member of your class, Michio Shiraishi, passed away last night. Okay, calm down. I know this comes as a surprise, but please keep quiet. The cause of death is still under investigation, and there's nothing we know for certain at the moment. Detailed investigation reports will come from the police, so please don't go spreading any rumors, got it? We're sending everyone home for today. No dilly-dallying on your way. School will be off tomorrow as well. Hey you, stop celebrating. Show some respect. There will be a memorial service scheduled next week at the school assembly. The local assembly? The school assembly. If anyone wishes to pay their respects individually. Several days later. Yako? Sorry to bug you. It's just, you seem a little different from your usual self. I hope I'm not being a nosy...
Thanks, Mio. But thanks, Mio. Was I acting that strangely?
Yeah, enough to make me worry. If you want to talk, I'm happy to listen.
Yes, this is perfect timing. There's actually something I want to ask you.
Yeah?
Maybe this is the rite of resurrection? Hey, Mio. You know about the rite of resurrection, right?
Yeah. It's that thing Mr. Araishi apparently discovered and wrote an article about. I doubt there's many people who don't know. He's always talking about it.
Do you believe it's real?
Huh? It sounds a little too good to be true to me.
But on the off chance that it really works, we could bring Michio back to life with it. I want to find it if there's even the slightest chance of bringing Michio back.
But how will you look for it?
Right, that's the thing. You know the spirit board thing that everyone's been doing? Where you summon a spirit and ask it whatever you want?
Yeah, I know it.
I want to try it out. There's something I want to know.
Why are you telling me this?
I mean, you seem like the type who'd know about this kind of thing.
Personally, I take offense to that. Oh, I do?
Yeah. You look like you're really into that occult stuff, you know? You've got that kind of gloomy look.
I don't know how I should feel about that.
But you do know how to do it, right?
Well, yes, I think I probably know a little more than most.
Okay, please help me. You're my only hope. Okay, please help me. You're my only hope. Michio, I wonder why she had to die.
She didn't leave a note or anything, but they announced that it was a suicide.
That can't be right. She would never kill herself. Michio was so happy. Always looked on the bright side of things. She loved coming to school. I know she was going through some hard times, but for her to kill herself?
I never got a chance to speak with her. She was often absent from school, and when she did come in, she looked depressed.
You're right. And that's why everyone was so willing to accept that she committed suicide. They acted like they cared, but all they did was gossip about it. They put together little pieces of information and spread rumors like it's the truth. Isn't that terrible?
Yes, it is. I've heard some that are really awful.
In the end, the only reason they're able to say stuff like this is because they aren't personally involved. True that she didn't get along with her new stepdad and her grades went down. But to say things like, how sad, no wonder she killed herself. How dare they? She always told me she was okay whenever I talked with her because I was worried. She would have told me if there was something bothering her so badly she'd kill herself over it.
Uh-huh.
I won't let Michio's death be written off like this. Like, maybe she got caught up in something bad.
Something bad?
People have been talking about that body found in former Yasuda Gardens, right? Some are saying that this town is cursed or something.
Yes, there has been a strange feeling around things recently. The thing you want to ask, is it...
Yeah, I want to know the truth behind Michio's death. And where the rite of resurrection is hidden.
I see. I don't know if getting the answer to those questions will be as easy as you hope.
Please, the teachers and police aren't any help. There's only so much I can do alone. If there's even the slightest chance, then...
Well... Okay, if that would make you feel better, then I'll help.
Yes, thank you, Mio!
Okay, then tomorrow after dark.
Case notes regarding the suicide of Michio Shiraishi. Komagata High School, Class 2C. Cause of death. Body discovered 1 week ago. Died from full-body blunt force trauma in an alley off South Warigesui Street. Believed to have fallen from the roof of a nearby apartment complex. Potential motives. The deceased parents had recently remarried, and rumors among the students suggest physical abuse by her stepfather. May constitute motive for suicide.
Alright, back to Yako at 12 a.m. at the school. With the candlestick.
Huh?
Ah, are you awake, Yako?
Yeah, what happened?
You can't remember?
Let's see, we used the spirit board and... I suddenly heard something, like this weird voice. And then I passed out?
Yes, as far as I can tell, you aren't experiencing any negative effects. I think it was just a mild shock from how sudden it was.
Was everything okay with the spirit?
Yep, it was almost bad, but I got it to leave. More importantly, what is that thing you have in your hand?
In my hand? Whoa, what the heck is this? It looks so freaky. When did I get this?
Oh, there's so much anger and hatred held within it. It looks a little like tools that were used for ancient curses.
What? That's so scary.
Yako, you just said you heard a strange voice, right? Could you tell me what you heard? Anything you can recall. I think it might be connected to that object.
Let's see. Felt like I was at the bottom of a dark place, and this voice felt like it was echoing in my mind. After that, it just kept shouting, "Kill them!"
I see. Thank you. Yako, I think you may have exactly what you need in order to use the Rite of Resurrection. A curse with the power to take people's lives and turn them into soul dregs.
What? You mean this is a real curse? I know I said I wanted to use the rite of resurrection to bring Michio back. But why? Why me? It makes no sense.
Yako, please calm down and listen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry about panicking.
No, it's okay. Fear is something we feel in the face of the unknown. Long ago, people would give names to phenomena they couldn't understand in order to live with them. However, modern-day developments in science and culture have pushed for the rejection of things that can't be measured. And so, the paranormal has been treated like it doesn't exist. But they've been around since a long, long time ago. If you just understand, you can see that there's nothing to be afraid of. First, calming down is the most important. Accept reality for what it is.
Huh. I only really gave this stuff a shot because it was so popular, but you really do have a connection with this stuff, don't you?
Well, I suppose to an extent.
Hey, Miyu. What do I do? Where do I start? Am I cursed? Am I going to die?
It's okay. I'll take care of the curse. That's why I'm here in the first place.
What?
Trust me. I'll take care of things. It'll be alright.
Thanks! I was the one who tracked you along to do the spirit board.
It's fine. You're desperate to find a way to try and help your friend. But spirit boards are dangerous. You have to take them seriously. So I'm glad you invited me. Alright, let's review everything we've learned so far and think how to move forward.
Okay. I think we're gonna have to stop there.
Ah, okay.
I'm quite tired and we still have to walk the dogs.
Yes, we do. I'll probably have to open DaVinci and combine the initial 30-40 minute recording because of the thing where the game crashed and force shut off my stream. Not sure why that happened. Man, this game autosaves a lot, which is nice. My manual save is not even 30 seconds. Ugh. After the auto. It's pretty nice. But yeah, we made some good progress. I had a feeling, because I was thinking, oh, what if I named the title specifically off of Haruo? And then I was like, I get the feeling, since we were introduced to all three of them, that we're going to be jumping between the three a lot, rather than sticking to one until, like, an end.
But now we can call the next title Paranormal Cop and Some Women.
That sounds like a mean title. A cop, a mother, and a high school girl try to not accidentally kill people. Or I guess in Harue's case, try to kill cursed people.
Right now, we don't know what the girl's gonna do, but she's not planning on killing anyone. She's planning on taking their curse.
Yeah, with the hopes that that the curse marks she takes from them have enough dregs to combine into enough to use it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Detective Man is like, yeah, I'll tank the urge to kill. I have 3 now, and I haven't murdered you yet, June, right? And June's just like, We're doing a pretty good job, though. We already took 2. And I haven't killed anyone. Very curious what would happen in those instances where I just straight up murdered a guy. I wonder if June would take care of us, and that's why there isn't a branching path if I took the murder route.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, goodbye, YouTube. Wow.